Hey, congrats! You just learned how to cast a dark portal spell in Unity, and now it's time for you to get to know how to better use this portal for your own games. So, first things first, you'll see that there's a lot of different variants already there to use. You can just grab them from the VFX section here. Now, if you grab one of the portals and drag it around, you'll see that some of the elements stay stuck to the object, but the others are leaving a trail behind the portal, which is great. Maybe you want the portal to be moving across the scene. Maybe the portal is on top of a truck and it's moving, and so you'll see some smoke being left behind and the portal still moving. But it was key that some of the elements of the portal stayed with the portal, as for example the trails that go up and the main portal and the base of the portal. So it made more sense for it to be that way. In that sense, you can reset the position and feel free to just open it up and access this dark portal particles folder, in which you'll find the full versions, which are just versions that include both the fade in, loop, and fade out. It's not really a loop because the particles just spawn once, right? So you'd see that the portal has a lifetime of 6.666 or 6.9, which is nice. And then you'll find that there's a loop folder inside that one, in which you'll find the loop, loop fade in, and loop fade out versions. So essentially, those versions are just what you'd expect them to be. Oh, by the way, you can see that some of the tendrils are going downwards, and that's completely not on purpose. So I might have to fix this. But it looks cool. It looks great. Maybe the portal is appearing somewhere on top and you'll see that just spawning, like that. It's great also that this is that way. That's cool. I might just add this as a feature, which looks pretty nice. But hey, all right. So here's just the fade in, right? You only see the first seconds of the portal and then it disappears, but some of the tendrils are still there, lingering in the air. This is just a looped version of the portal. You'll see that it's infinite. If you go down here into the particle systems themselves, you'll see that the lifetime is infinity, which is pretty great. Means that the portal particles will never despawn, and you can use this in your code. So when you fade in the portal, for example, you can check out how many seconds will the fade in last for. In this case, it would be 3 seconds. So it would be a fade in of 3 seconds. And then in your code, you could use a coroutine or something along those lines to spawn the loop whenever that one finishes. Maybe recycle this fade in a garbage collection or something, and then activate the loop, right? And then you'd have the loop for an indefinite amount of seconds, and then you would spawn the fade out, which is essentially a fade out version of the portal in which it fades. And it's using, again, 3 seconds fade out. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to tweak and to understand. If you want to tweak the seconds that fade in or fade out lasts for, you need to go inside these fade out or fade in and then select all of those and adjust the lifetime accordingly. For example, the light spawn lasts for a bit less than 3 seconds to actually just despawn, but you can adjust, for example, those ones to be like, I don't know, 1 second, and then the light spawn to be 0.5 seconds, and it's a super quick fade out. Really, that's just about it. It's not any more complex than that. The only thing is that you might need to have at least a bit of knowledge on scripts to implement this in your game because, well, the portal has 3 different parts to it. But if you're good with just using the full version, that could work for you. You just need to spawn that on the character's location whenever the character is spawning, and then maybe fade in the character using a cool shader or something, or maybe scaling it up, or let your creativity and imagination run free. One thing I didn't mention is that the full version of it has some randomness to all the portals and like the noises of the portals and all the other elements of the portals. To check that out, you can come inside the dark portal main, which is this one here at the top, and then in the custom data, you'll see that the Z value, which you can change the name to randomness, is just a value between 0 and 69. If you set this to be 0, the noise will be the same all the time, so you won't be seeing any variation on this pattern here. Let's see if I can make it so you'll see the repetition at the pattern there. But yeah, oh no, it's not right. Sorry, it's not doing that. And why is that? It's keeping some randomness to it still because it keeps moving, right? But the thing is, if you were to set the dark portal in both of those two to 0, you don't need to rename that, by the way. You can leave that to be just Z or Z. But you'll see now that those two portals share the same noise pattern, right? So that's not for this one specific portal that you edit, it's for all the portals in the scene. So if you have multiple portals spawning at the same time, it will be best to have randomness to it, so it's got a more organic feel and doesn't feel like it's the same portal being reused and used in another color scheme of sorts. Now, as you can see, those two are almost sharing the same pattern here. So the higher you set this number, the more random it will be, and the harder it would be for them to be similar to other portals in the scene. Right, and that was the last tip I had for you today. You can feel free to jump into our Discord server, in which you'll find some tips and tricks on how to use or how to better implement the assets in your games, or if you even have any errors, which Unity is famous for, we'll be glad to fix them. Just reach out to us and we'll share some memes. I forgot to mention the fact that all the Portal VFX here also include sound effects, so you'll find them inside the audio WAP folder. There's the one shot, which is the version for the full Portal, and then there's the fade in, loop, and fade out versions ready to be used in WAP format, so they are lossless quality and you won't have that annoying MP3 silence at the beginning of the sound wave. You can feel free to steal this sound wave or tattoo it into your arm, who knows. But yeah, really thank you Chinchilla Sound for the amazing sound effects that you create all the time. So, alright, time to go. See ya!